Yo. You are now tuned into what I think this is episode 3 of Options Gang Radio. This is a very no, actually this is this is episode 3. It's his third episode, but the first episode was episode 0. But today's episode we got a very special guest. If for those of you who have a Twitter, you already probably know this man. If you were a listener of Cryptology podcasts in the past, you definitely have heard from him before. We got the good brother Hotep Jesus on the line on the check-in today.
Yo. I feel like rapping and shit. The beat so hard,
son. That's we on that energy, man. That's how we. We got a couple, son. It's some European nigga. I had to use him so they don't flag my shit on Spotify or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I had to get some underground nigga. But
this reminds me of the '90s right here. This is gritty.
Yeah, this is how we trying to. This is the energy we bringing, man. But so speaking of gritty, man, your boys, dog. I mean. I don't even know where to start, man. This is going to be a coronavirus focus episode, but I kind of feel like we're going to end up going to so many other places with it because this shit, when it first started, like it started as one thing, but now I'm seeing so many tentacles manifesting outside of it into other stuff. It's like, I can't get a grip on what the end goal is. In your opinion right now, because I know you had a couple of very inflammatory takes online, touching on different parts of the tentacles. In your opinion right now, what would you say is the number one objective? Because, I mean, I think we could both agree that COVID was man-made. I think we could both agree that this is a social engineering test run in some regard. But what do you think is the overall, what's the thesis for this one right here?
We got to understand this is a Rex 84. This is a readiness exercise for anybody who has been a conspiracy theorist, lane for at least the past 10 years would know exactly what this is. If you're not in the know, then you're probably, caught by surprise and don't know what's going on with this stuff. But this is one of those situations where conspiracy theorists have been talking about an event like this for a long time, where they'll use something like a bioweapon to, usher in the new one world order, right? So you say, what's the one goal? Usually the way they operate, there's never one goal. There's usually the octopus got 8 arms.
Facts.
So, they trying to get their hands on everything. But it's basically a centralization of power. It's globalization, it's nationalization.
Well, here's the crazy thing. In my opinion, I think that's one of the side effects that I don't think they intended for in terms of, we know that the push is towards globalization, but I kind of feel like this event is going to have the reverse impact on it, where it's going to actually push more people towards nationalization. It's going to push a lot more countries towards manufacturing their own goods and not being as dependent on China for things in their supply chain, whether it comes to food, whether it comes to medical supplies, whether it comes to, God knows what. I think this event kind of exposed a lot of, it exposed all of our weaknesses as a country. But in that regard, I think it's going to have the opposite effect, because I think this event pushes people more towards nationalism, if anything.
Well, when I say nationalism, I'm speaking about from the oligarchy's point of view, where they take the individual rights and they throw it under one umbrella. So where the state rights don't matter, it's what the federal government say.
Got you.
So when I say nationalism, I mean in that regards, not tribalism in the sense of the word way you're using it. I do think that there is a sense of nationalism happening, but I think it's only happening with minds like your own and myself and our peers. I think the greater public is easily controlled by fear and misinformation, um, easily controlled by their emotions, and their inability inability to be bipartisan in their politics.
Now, in your opinion, is this something that's coordinated? Is this a multinational coordinated event, or is this
Ooh.
something coordinated more
Well,
from,
you
let's
see,
say,
the
the
thing
East?
is, the guys at the top don't have any loyalty to a nation. The nations are just corporations that they use, like like Wendy Bird and them use.
They just washing money
Like
through the
these,
country.
yeah, they just shell companies,
Got you, got you. So now,
So, but
no,
the
I'll let you
money does
continue.
go overseas. We look at where the Federal Reserve lends its notes from the banking. A lot of that stuff does go overseas. So, um, it's definitely multinational from the corporate aspect of it.
So how do you approach this situation as a person who does invest and who does put their money inside of the market? How are you assessing this current situation, and how are you uh, moving forward? I mean, and for people who don't know, you are an options game too, but outside of that, you do your own investing. So,
Yeah.
How are you taking all of this information and applying it to the market currently? Are you even applying it to the market? Are you diversifying into other asset classes? What are the current events doing towards your investment? How is your investment style,
Yeah.
portfolio, whatever changed
Yeah.
coming from December to right now?
It hasn't. It's been business as usual. But me. I'm conservative with my investments, right?
Exactly.
So last year I wasn't active. I was like, yo, we in a bubble right now. There's no point in me putting money into a bubble market. Let me sit on cash because this shit has to burst at some point. So I was stacking cash, waiting for a crash. I didn't know it was gonna come this year. I didn't know it was gonna come like this. But when AMD dropped, when Wingstop dropped, I got in.
I
I
was just
bought my
about to say,
shares.
because I remember your Wingstop strategy. Black niggas can't stop eating chicken. I wanted to know: do you think Wingstop has bottomed out? Do you think the chicken wings have bottomed out?
Yo, the fucking this shit went down to like $50 at the crash.
Yeah, I know.
That shit has since rebounded and it's over
It's like
$100.
Oh, it's over 100 already.
It's already over $100.
I gotta go. Damn, that's crazy. I wasn't following them like that heavy. That's crazy.
I stay in my little my little lane, my little stocks, and I just keep it simple like that.
I
I
got
don't
you.
really try to
So
get wild. I like to gamble on gold. If I could catch a gold ETF option, because gold
God
is a
damn, that shit
volatile.
went. That shit
You
really.
can trade on gold daily.
I just pulled up Wingstop chart. That shit is crazy, son.
What is it at?
It's at 99.75, 77 right now.
Okay.
But I mean, like,
At one point Friday, it was over 100.
no, I saw where it jumped over 100, but I'm just looking at it. Like in the last 5 days, I mean, it was at 75 5 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So the Wingstop plan, that shit is crazy because I remember seeing that 60 something, and I was like, I wonder if I should just start copping some Wingstop now that it came back down and this shit back up to 100. That's bugged out. That's bugged
I
out.
got me a little discount on that. I was waiting. I was looking at Wingstop last year, like I don't want to buy it this high. I'm like, and showed up this shit hit, and I was just grinning. I ain't say nothing on Twitter. I ain't tweet nothing. I was just grinning because this is, what it is. It's like when you understand fundamental investing and your strategy, you can't really lose. It's like they tell you buy low, sell high. So if everything is in a bubble, stack your cash, wait for the crash, and then buy it when everybody's selling.
I tell people all the time, like, and time horizons matter. If I tell people, if your time horizon is like 10 years, if you're not looking to get that money right now, you don't have to worry for a bottom or how cheap. Like, everything is cheap right now. If your time horizon, if you're playing a long game, if you're looking for instant gratification, you might get burned with all the games they play in the market. But if you take a long term and you're on a quality stock, everything is cheap right now. No matter what sector you're looking at, like, everything is cheap.
Yeah. It's a great time to get in, man. You know, a couple of weeks ago was a real great time to get in. You know, the people that I always see are stupid, the ones that say, look, y'all was talking about the stock market. Look, it's crashing. I'm like, nigga, you ain't got no cash right now. You don't want to buy it? Because these prices look mighty tempting out here.
But speaking of prices,
do
you think this is the end though? Like, do you think we've bottomed out? Do you think this is the end? Like, do you think we bottomed out?
On what? Bitcoin and stock market?
Stock market and Bitcoin, now that you brought that up. But I was talking about this.
How much bottomed out? Yes. I think we've already bottomed out. I do believe. I believe they're pulling the okie doke.
No, well, now you see they trying to clean up the numbers because they're definitely pushing to open up the economy. They realize this shit. They carry the decimal point too far over. It's like, oh, nah, this shit went too far. So now they trying to...
Fundamentally, this shit shouldn't have recovered. It should still be going down. We shouldn't have had a rally last week.
But these niggas, the Treasury, Trump and the Treasury unloaded like... I don't even know how much. God knows how many trillions over the last month. I mean, yo.
I lost count, dog.
Yo,
I was keeping track and lost count.
It was like, and then the crazy thing was like, it'll be a regular day and it'll be like, oh, they just injected 500 billion overnight. And that wouldn't even be like a news one. That would just be like a regular, the Fed just put 500 billion. Like, that shit was like nothing. Like, and that was like side bread.
Like they was hitting the like button.
That wasn't even the real bread. That was the side bread, son. So I mean, but with that being said, the reason why I'm saying this can't be the bottom is that there's no way the damage is fully priced in yet. Because the reverberation, what the fuck, how would you say it though? The after effects, the shock waves, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The reverberations. Son, there's gonna be so much like shit that you can't really factor in, and when it hits, it's gonna just hit. To me, I think there's no way for that. Like, even when people talk about like the over leveraged homeowners on Airbnb, you know, what are they going to do to housing prices when they start defaulting on mortgages? You know what I'm saying?
Well, Airbnb just got bailed out, but the people ain't get bailed out.
That's what I'm saying. The people ain't get bailed out, but the people are the homeowners on it. And once the homeowners go into crisis, we all know what happened when enough people in America stop paying their mortgages.
That means it's time to get back into real estate.
No, I'm definitely, son. I'm telling people right now. No, definitely by the end of this year, housing prices are going to start dropping. By the end of this year, housing prices, they got to, because too many people are over leveraged right now.
I was telling people last year, I was like, if you buy a house 2018, 2019, you're stupid.
Why?
You always buy the house. You always buy the house after the crash or at the crash, because the way that the cycle works. If you buy your house at the top, you could easily go underwater just based upon the price, the appraisals of your comps. You know what I mean? Your comps come down, your house come down. It's just the market is the market. And you know, especially if you're one of those people who had no money down loan, you know, you might owe more than what that house is worth. You know what I mean? Especially if you bought it last year. You know, so you know, if you're not an 80% LTV type person, you know, I will leave it alone.
So, but you.
Huh?
No, but I'm saying even now, the housing prices haven't even dropped yet. So when would you say is a good time?
When they drop, because when they drop, they just gonna hit like dominoes, bang, bang, bang. That shit's just gonna it's gonna hurt too.
Yeah, that shit's gonna be hurt. Bad. So now, what are you doing with your alternate investments? Like, has your portfolio changed? Has it been leveraged more on Bitcoin and gold?
Now I got kids, so I invest in my kids.
Meaning, I mean, I know people say they invest
I mean,
in kids.
like,
That means
like
a lot.
deadass, like,
Some niggas say they invest in their kids and they just come through every weekend. Not saying that's you, though. You know what I'm saying? That shit means a lot of shit to a lot of different niggas.
Nah, I kind of like.